Well, hello everybody. Welcome to So I Play Games. I'm your host Scott, and today I want to talk about a game called Amnesia: The Bunker. Let's get into this. Y'all ready for this, man? I've been so excited. I love the Amnesia games. Mind you, their puzzles are usually too smart for me. I usually get stuck on the puzzles.
You think I'm rude to you? You think I am the worst because I ask when you suck my d. You take out your Invisalign first. Come on.
So Amnesia is here with its fourth installment, and I'm so excited to talk about this. I might be a little bit late compared to most other people, but I took my time and I played through it on hard, and then I went back through on normal to kind of go through the notes and understand the story better. But we are here, and I am so happy this game came out. This game absolutely feels like Frictional Games has gone back to their roots. Like, this felt like Dark Descent, which is by far one of my favorite in the entire series of the Amnesia games. If I had to put them in order, absolutely, it would be Dark Descent, Bunker, Rebirth, and Machine for Pigs. Because Machine for Pigs. That's all I can say for that. But enough about the other installments. What about Amnesia: The Bunker? So I'll just give a small breakdown of what happens in the beginning so we understand why we're in the bunker in the first place. The story picks up with a French soldier called Henry Clemens and his friend Augustine Lambert, who are both running through these trenches during World War I trying to escape German soldiers. Unfortunately, they don't get really far. They do run into a bunch of German soldiers and they start getting attacked. And as they try to run away, an explosion goes off and ends up knocking Henry out and seemingly killing Augustine. But also, fortunately, you end up waking up in the bunker a few days later. Now, there's a bunch of notes that does explain how you got to the bunker that I will leave for everyone to kind of figure out on their own, and I highly recommend you do absolutely pay attention to all the notes and everything that is left behind for you and the pictures and follow the story, because it is absolutely imperative to following what actually happened, and especially with the monster and what's been going on and what's happened in the last few days while you've been in a coma, more or less. Now, right out the gate, you'll notice right away that Frictional Games took a very different take than they have on previous installments. Usually in previous installments, you'd follow a very linear path, straightforward to next destination, and so on. Where Bunker gives you more of a semi-open world. It's still very confined to a singular area, but it gives you more freedom to more or less go and do whatever you want. Eventually, you do make it to a singular spot in the center of the bunker, and it's more or less your safe place. Your safe everything. It's where your storage is, it's where your save point is, it's where the generator is, which I will talk about in a second. It's just your branching off point, and you'll have a map there too, and it shows you all the different areas and kind of like gives you the idea of the somewhat freedom that you do get to have in this game. And this is something I actually really adore about the game, is just being able to go back and forth and learn the area, because there are a lot of rooms, I'm gonna say, that are in this game that really are just for extra supplies and whatnot, and nothing really pertaining to progressing the story forward. So it's a lot of hit and miss, going back and forth and saving and making sure you don't die again, especially on hard mode. The difference between normal and hard is the lack of supplies and save points. So like I said, the initial center area that you start in, you have your save point there. It is a lamp that's more or less, you click it on and off, whatever the case is, to save. On hard mode, there are significantly less save points. I think I came across 2 altogether, and on the normal playthrough there was, I can't even remember, I didn't do a full normal playthrough, but I do remember there being more supplies in the cabinets and whatnot, and also save points. Now, before we get into the actual heart of the game and venturing off and combating this monster, we have to talk about the generator. Now, in your home base, there is a section broken off where you can go kind of downstairs, and there's a generator. And there's fuel that you can collect when you do go out adventuring that you have to put into the generator for it to kind of keep the lights on in the bunker, which is a way of keeping the monster kind of at bay. seeing as he doesn't exactly like lights. He will still come out, by the way. I don't know if it was more specifically on hard mode. It detours him, but if you make enough noise, he will absolutely come out. But that's besides the point. So you need to collect these little fuel canisters and you need to fill up the generator, and the generator will only stay on for so long. Eventually you do get a stopwatch that helps you with kind of timing when the lights are going to turn off on you, so you can run around with that while you're exploring and whatnot, so you can kind of gauge when you should start coming back to your home base so that you can refuel and go back out when it's safe again. Now for the heart of the game. Going out, adventuring, and trying to escape the bunker and the monster. You find out that the original exit is collapsed for reasons you'll find out, and you need to find another way to get out of the bunker or to get the debris out of the way. This is where Amnesia brings in what they're best at. Cue atmospheric, terrifying, claustrophobic areas while trying to collect items, do puzzles, and run from monsters. It's insane. The layout of this entire game is fantastic. I love it personally. The map isn't huge or the area isn't big by any means, but I think this is actually what works for the bunker. I think it actually makes the game so much better. If it was a wider area with a lot of running around, it would have been, I don't know, it would have felt like a little redundant or padded or ran out, whatever the case is. At least with the playstyle of the bunker and having to run back and forth, it's nice that it's within a smaller area. And even though it is a smaller area, when you are being chased or stalked by a monster, every little distance feels like it's way too far away. If that makes any sense. You only wish that you were much closer, and the deeper you go into the bunker, it is just terrifying trying to think how you're going to get back, especially if you run out of fuel and the generator turns off and it's just free game for the monster to come out at any time it wants. But what about the monster, which is by far the best part of the entire game? If you have ever played Alien Isolation, it is very similar to the AI from the Xenomorph in Alien Isolation. Any little bit of noise or whatever you do is going to get its attention. So you get a flashlight, obviously, for when the generator dies on you, so you can kind of like see your way around if you want to do it that way. But it's a pull string flashlight. So anytime you want to pull on the flashlight, that can get the attention of the monster. If you run, obviously you'll get the attention of the monster. Jumping, walking, even if you do anything noise related, it will get its attention and it will seek you out. There are a few places that you can hide and just not even deal with or try and combat the monster in general, but not all of them work. Like wooden tables, he'll walk by but eventually will break them on you and find you. You're better off like hiding under a bed or more stable, sturdy, whatever you can find, or just staying out of its sights. I mean, I highly recommend just playing hide and seek with this guy and like just constantly moving, crawling away from him. Her. God, it. But if you do want to fight the monster, there are options. You do get a gun and you do get introduced to grenades quite early. There are explosive barrels that are around. There's gas cans all over the place that you can blow up near him. There's traps everywhere that you can try and lure him into. There are ways to kind of not kill him, obviously, but if he's hit by like certain like explosions or gas, whatever the case is, he'll run back into the walls and he'll leave you alone for a set amount of time. Not a lot, but enough to be a grace period for you to catch your breath. Which kind of leads me into the crafting portion of the game, and it's not exactly complex. I didn't play with it a lot because I didn't find myself needing it. I found enough supplies running around that I didn't need to craft a lot, and I avoided even confronting the monster in the first place. But if you find yourself like injured or you hit a trap or you get attacked by the monster, you can put like 2 cloths together and make a bandage, and you can use that. Or you can put like a bottle with fuel in a cloth, whatever the case is, and you make a Molotov and you can use that to attack the monster. The main thing I used it for was making bandages, to be completely honest. I didn't go much further outside of that. I didn't make any bottles with a Molotov or anything like that. I used bottles to like throw and distract the monster. from noise and shit like that. I found that more useful than starting fires and getting myself in trouble. But right when you think that the monster is all you have to deal with and you think that's just enough, you find out there's rats in this game, which usually end up blocking important items and codes and dog tags, because there are dog tags in this game that have passwords to the lockers that kind of get you some key items to get further in the game. Now the rats, they're really not difficult to deal with. The biggest issue with them is if you get too close, they will hiss and make noise and they will bring the monster to you. So you want to obviously keep a nice distance away from them, but you're also given items to kind of deal with them. Like you can get flares that you can throw at them and it'll make them spread out. You can, there's pieces of meat that you can get that you can throw that will kind of like deter them away, so you can grab whatever they're, you know, protecting at that point. And if you really do hate yourself, you can try throwing a grenade or shooting it with a gun and getting killed by the monster. But that's completely up to you. You're given quite a few options to kind of get them out of the way, but they're more of a nuisance than anything. I honestly just jumped over them, or if I had an extra flare, I just threw it on top of them. That was about it. I almost went this whole video without even talking about the visuals. I don't usually like to mention anything about the graphics unless it's something that is a standout feature with the game, whether it's really bad or really good kind of thing, something that needs to be brought up. The bunker kind of sits on the fence. It's not going to win any awards for how great it looks, and it's not going to take any heat for how bad it looks, right? It's a good looking game. But the one thing I do want to mention is the lighting. That in itself is great. It's fantastic. When you're navigating through the bunker and the corridors and the rooms and you're going and you're flicking all the lights on, you're trying to figure out where the hell you're going, and when the generator goes off and it goes pitch black, and they just do it so well when it comes into that kind of portion of the game. But when you put all this together, it makes such a fantastic experience. You take the monster who is noise oriented, so you are constantly on edge, wondering how and what to do, and really try and plan out your next adventure before you do it and make sure you have the right supplies on you. You have the rats that you gotta also plan out, make sure you have the supplies on you to deal with. You have the absolute fantastic whole atmosphere in general. The sound design as a whole when it comes to everything with this game is insane, because you're in a bunker and there's a war going on above you, so there's still explosions and gunfire and everything going off as you're trying to navigate through everything, with the monster constantly on your ass and running through the walls and listening to all of that, with the rats scurrying around. It's almost overwhelming, but in a good way, because everything you do feels like the next thing that could get you killed. And after all that, and with all the praise that I have given Amnesia the bunker, I did unfortunately run into a few issues. Not big ones, not by any means. I had 2 instances in the entirety of both my playthroughs. 2 incidents. One where I fell through the ground into the abyss while trying to throw a grenade. I mean, let's see what's in it. Trial by fire, right? It's fine. Oh, what? What? At which point, somehow blew me up and killed me. I don't know. I don't understand. It confused the shit out of me. And the other one would have to be the loading screen, I guess. Like the performance of the loading screen. Because it only happened when I was going from one section of the bunker to another, and it was, I guess, loading the area up. The game would completely bog down and skip frames, and sometimes even just completely stop, or bring me halfway through the ground like it was trying to throw me through the floor again. But outside of that, I really didn't run into any other issues. I guess that's where I leave it with you guys. What did you think of Amnesia the Bunker? Do you agree or disagree with me? Let me know in the comments and let's have a discussion about it. But before we go, I have a copy of Death Stranding's Death Stranding? Death Stand? One sec. Death Stranding Director's Cut. I have a free copy for Steam that I want to give away. If you want to participate in the giveaway, just say pineapples in the comments below to let me know. It'll be our little secret. And in the next week or two, I'll probably do a spin of the wheel on one of the streams with all the names and we'll pick a winner. But that is it. That is all. I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves. I hope you have a good morning, evening, afternoon, or night, wherever you are. And I'll see you all very, very soon. Oh, it's over. It's over. Oh yeah, I'm getting comfy. We're just gonna slouch down now. Holy Amnesia comes out with another game. I'm not playing it on hard. I'm telling you right now. It ain't happening again. Holy like, we'll do normal, learn how to play the game, and then we'll do hard.